All right, it looks like we're live. Welcome, everybody. I'll send a message to you guys on the little chat, letting you know we're live, and refresh your screens if you can't see me. And then we will go ahead and get started. All right. Someone just said Faye is getting up very early to do this. It is fairly early in the morning for you, and we appreciate that you are willing to get up so early. All right, we will go ahead and do an official start, and hopefully you guys are all here in attendance. Those of you that are latecomers, we'll just let you catch up. And that's what a replay is for, right? Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our CakeFu Master Series. I'm Amelia Carbine, your host. And today we have a really great guest. She is super talented and just a sweet person, too. I had the chance to meet Faye about a couple months ago now when we went to Cake Fest in Louisiana. It was really a fun event, and it was really fun to get to know Faye a little bit. So welcome, Faye Cahill. I just found out how to pronounce your last name the right way. So,
hi, Amelia.
Hi.
Yeah, it's very common. Hardly anyone knows how to pronounce it, but yeah, that's good.
All right. Well, we are so glad that you're here, and we're just excited to get to learn a little bit from you. For those of you guys that don't know Faye, she is spectacular at piping and layering things, embellishments. She does have a Craftsy class out. It's called Layered Embellishments. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, layered embellishments, 12 stunning techniques.
Yeah, and so just a heads up, you guys, we are going to be doing a giveaway of her class at the end of the training, so make sure you stick with us. And for those of you that are interested in her class, which I highly recommend, you can find a discount for her class at this link. It's cakefu.com/Faye Cahill. And that is where you can go to get a nice discount on her Craftsy class. And again, make sure you stick around to the end, because you might have a chance to win her class, which would be really wonderful. It's a really, really great class. So yeah, Faye, let's talk about you a little bit, about how you started into cake decorating.
Yeah, well, I've been doing cakes for a really long time. I started in my early 20s, so that was way back in the early 90s in Sydney. I studied an art degree straight out of high school, and I grew up in the country, moved to the city too, and while I was studying, I worked in cake shops just to after I finished my degree, I started doing a little bit of work in the kitchen, and I found that I really enjoyed it. So I did start a pastry apprenticeship, but fairly early on I got more into the decorating, so that's really what I specialize in. And I also got into the wedding side of things fairly early on, so I've been doing that for a long time, and that's been my specialty. My current business has been running for 8 years.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, I'm not seeing anybody responding. Just to make sure that we're good and going, I want to get a response from somebody.
Okay.
Okay, they can see us. We're good to go. I saw somebody said that it's not starting, it's not refreshing, so I wanted to make sure that at least the majority of people could. Someone said yes, they can see us. So
awesome.
I'm sorry that whoever it is can't. Hopefully you can figure that out soon. Okay, so you have a really great demonstration for us today, and we're going to just jump right into it. I know that Faye is a very busy person, and we're gonna get right through this today. That and I am my voice, my throat has a little bit of a tickle in it, so we're gonna try and keep me from coughing too. So go ahead, Faye, and you can go ahead and explain what it is that you're teaching, and just take it from here.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a bit about colouring and arranging flowers on cake. So what I'm going to demo today is the kind of techniques that we use often. So in our wedding work, we're using like really beautiful colour washes over our flowers, and I'm going to demonstrate how what I do is paler tones for the wedding work, and we start with white flowers, so it works with our production as well to make our flowers in white and then colour them up afterwards. But I also really like the effect of this colouring technique because it gives really subtle tones, and I feel like it's very soft and pretty. It's similar to a watercolour, I guess, so it's not as flat as mixing the colour into the flower before you make it. So what I have here, just let me know if you can't see what I'm working on. So I have a bunch of our flowers here. So here they are in white, and I'm going to start by demoing the colour wash technique. I also already have a few coloured up here. So this one I've done a brown base on there, and I'm going to show you the second stage of that, which is dusting into the middle. But what we have here is prepared with the colour wash technique. You do need to let it dry before we dust into the centre. Because we're using a high grade of alcohol, it dries really quickly, but you definitely need to make sure it's dry before we do the second stage, otherwise the powder's going to clump up.
All right.
And you good if I just keep going?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah?
Okay. With the flowers that are in the background, they are a little bit low on the screen. I'm not sure if you want to lower that a tiny bit, or.
Okay, maybe I just have a little platform under the. I can just take that out.
Okay, perfect. Okay, for those of you, I just want to show a picture of some of these amazing cakes that are in your Craftsy class. That I know that you just do the most beautiful, amazing cakes, and I just love
thank
them.
you.
Oh, I love them. Okay, so to pull up that picture really fast for you. It's actually the little video play button, but it has a picture of the cakes. So while you're getting that ready right now, I'll go ahead and share that with everybody. See, this right here is these are the cakes that she teaches in her Craftsy class. Just amazingly gorgeous. And the class that you taught at Cake Fest, I saw your little display piece. It was amazing, just stunning. The front cake right here. The front cake is the one I think my all-time favorite. I just love that lacy look, and just you know, added on top of to make it just so dimensional and so beautiful. Just love it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
A cake that we made for a real client, and it was one of my personal favorites, so that's why I designed the Craftsy cake around that.
All right, so we...
Okay. Okay, are we...
We are good to go. We're back to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Should I continue with the...
Yeah, you go right ahead. Are you on a laptop, Faye?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, if you want to prop your laptop back up on the prop that it was on, and then just kind of tilt down the screen a little bit to your laptop, then we can see kind of a more overhead view of what it is that you're doing. There we go. And if you want to just tilt the camera down, tilt your laptop cover down just a little bit. Oh, that's so much better. If you go down just a tiny bit more, then it'll be perfect. Yep. Right there. Oh, that's perfect.
So I'm going to move on to demoing the alcohol wash technique. So this is the product that we use in Australia. It's a food grade alcohol. So it's 95% alcohol. It dries really fast, and this is what it's very easily available in Australia. In the US, I think the most common thing is people are using the Everclear, which is also 95% alcohol. In the Rejuvenator Spirit. Okay, so I'm just putting a bit of that into a bowl, and I'm going to add a drop of color. So what I'm going to show you is, I've already done brown here, and we can see that. We're going to see the second stage of that. But what I'm going to show you is using black as a base color. So what I find with the colors that we use, so these are airbrush colors. It's just a very basic brand, just a bakery product, and I use that into the alcohol mix. The colors themselves are very basic, so I rarely use them straight out of the bottle. It's always mixing them down a bit. So, for example, a pink, if we use that straight out of the bottle, it's not going to look very natural. So I will soften that by using just a touch of brown or a touch of black. That's going to make it look a little bit more natural. But we can use these colors. Black is one that I do use sometimes, just straight out of the bottle, and I'm just adding just tiny touches into my mix here. And because the black has a base color to it, that's going to start showing through. So what I'm going to grab now is just a broken gum paste flour, which we use for color testing, and we're just checking our color here. So this is actually looking nice to me. I don't know if you can see that. It's a barely there kind of color. It's just a grey with a tiny touch of purple, but I might just strengthen that up a little bit just so you can see it a little bit more.
I love that it's so subtle. I think that's, yeah. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And so here it is over a larger piece. You can start that. Once we do that over the entire flower, and then we highlight the center a little bit deeper, that color is going to come out a lot stronger. So now I'm going to paint a whole flower here. So I have this. This is we're now preparing our flowers 2 weeks in advance, but usually it's fine just to let it dry for 1 or 2 days, and then it's firm enough to do this technique onto. You definitely wouldn't want to do this if you just finished your flower the same day.
Mm-hmm. But this method is really great because you can get it as concentrated or as light as you really want it to be.
Yeah, well, generally this is for lighter colors. So the more liquid you put into your alcohol mix, the more likely it is to go a little bit streaky. So if we're doing stronger colors, you know, for example, if it was a hot pink or a red, then I would start with putting some color into the flower itself, into the gum paste, and then I would still do a little bit on the outside of this, so a wash of color, and then probably a little bit of airbrushing as well.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so here we have the purple flower, so that's just black, nothing else in there, and it's turned a dusty purple, like a light dusty purple color.
Mm-hmm.
So now we put that aside to dry, and I'm going to show you just this brown rose again, how we dust into the center of that and how it will change the appearance. We can use different colors into the center, and that's going to change the appearance of this flower. So what I have here is a dusty pink color. It's, I don't know if you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the petal dust. Yeah. So that's just petal dust, and I'm going to put that into the center. Okay, so now we have dusty pink in the center on the brown based rose. Okay, and then I'm just going to show you exactly the same rose again, and we're going to dust in a little bit of a dusty peach color. Can you see that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I'm going to put that into the center.
You are not gentle with that. I'm sure that people are going to be wondering what brand of gum paste that you use.
We use the Nicholas Lodge recipe, which I find is very, very stable. In Sydney, we have a lot of humidity, so that's a good one for us. So can you see the difference in those? So one's, we've used the same base color in the background, and one's dusty pink, and one's dusty peach. I'll show you one more, which is latte. So all of these neutral colors are really big at the moment. So it's quite common as a bridesmaid's color for flowers, for fresh flowers in weddings. All of these brown and nude tones are really big. So we're doing a little bit of that in cakes as well.
Okay.
So what I have here is, see that? It's just a little bit of a latte brown color, and I've been putting that into the center. Can you see that one?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So here it is compared to the pink one. So they both have the same color wash on the outside, and then we've just dusted different colors into the center.
Those are very popular colors right now. They look so beautiful, so elegant.
Yeah, and so with our white flowers, we would normally always put a little something in the center. So often it might just be a touch of ivory, but sometimes it could be a pink or one of these latte tones. So now I have a large rose. I'm going to just put a little bit of the latte into the center with this one. and then we can start arranging them on the cake. So I'm going to try and arrange towards the camera, which is going to feel a little bit unnatural.
Okay. Can you flip it up towards the cake for us? We can't really see the cake.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's going to be better for me to see.
Yeah.
This is good. Yeah.
Yes, that's good.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to do just a little teardrop arrangement. So I'm going to start with my largest flower, and I'm going to put that into the cake. So this is just a styrofoam tear that I'm working on, and it might be a little bit delicate getting the flowers in there. So I've started with that, and
And you wanted to talk a little bit about wires and cakes. Is that because I know that that's a touchy subject? It's kind of a delicate one that you don't. I mean, it's hard to approach because some people are very anti. Some people are, oh, it's fine. So, what is your take?
Yeah, so I think the regulations vary a lot from country to country and even from state to state. When I started decorating, you know, it was way back, and we didn't have all the online stuff. So the studio that I worked at did put wires straight into cakes, and I didn't really know anything different to that. So I think it's important to just keep up to date with the regulations in your area. And I know there's a number of techniques for securing the wires and making them food safe. You can also build your flowers on something that's a food product, so a toothpick or a skewer, and then that can go straight into the cake. There's also straws. A lot of people are using straws. Dipping in chocolate and isomalt, I believe, is getting more popular. Yeah, it's I guess it's just what you're comfortable with. A lot of the time our wires will be taped, so yeah, most of the time with our big flowers we actually secure them to a toothpick, which makes them more stable in the cake. So, and we do that with a floral tape, which is also going to seal them up. I believe there's an issue with wires and corrosion into certain cakes, so you don't have it so much over there, but we have a fruit cake, which is not a popular flavour here, but some people still choose it, and it's a higher acid content, so that's a wire into that. I think it would only happen if the wire was in there for an extended period, but that can cause corrosion. So it might be similar with citrus flavours, that you would probably need to be very careful with a wire. So yeah, but in styrofoam it's easy, and we can stick them straight in.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick my second one in here. So you can see the first one is angled up, so I want it to be close to a 45-degree angle here. So facing forward, so you want to think about the angle that people are looking at it. So normally it's not flat down onto the cake, and it's not right up at a right angle either. And now I'm going to put my second one in. I kind of think of a center point, and you can mark that as a visual cue if you know, if you want to. Yeah, so I'm going to stick this leaf in here, and that's what I'm going to call my center point. And my next flower, I want to be angling out from that. Sometimes when I'm demoing this in class, sometimes I stick a skewer there, and then that's our center point.
That's really smart to have that center point. I think it really gives you a better eye of what it is that you're trying to accomplish, instead of just sticking things in random places. I honestly think this is one of the best things that can be taught.
Yeah, it's I guess I just came up with that because I saw in my classes people putting things in at funny angles that didn't look natural or right, and so that's just something that I use as a teaching tool. So now we're going to start going over the edge, and we want to make a nice transition from the flowers on top to the ones that are trailing down the front. So I've got these two are both within the surface of the top tier, and my next one I want to start hanging that halfway. This, I'm putting this in, and now I can see I don't really like this relationship here, so I'm going to change the angle. So my large flower is angled out slightly more. And I didn't really like that sitting at a lower level to this flower. It's you really want a nice cascade over the side here, and they are a little bit harder to work with in the styrofoam. Okay.
Yes, they are.
You're seeing that? Okay,
yes,
beautiful.
Yes.
So if I turn it around, you'll see there's a big gap at the back here, and I might just stick a flower. Flowers down to smaller flowers. I'm just going to fill that, angling towards the center again, and then we've got most of that happening, and now we can just start trailing our buds down the front. So now I'm going to start.
I forgot to mention, to those of you that may be new, welcome. I'm sorry I didn't say this earlier, but there is, in the chat box that's next to the screen that you're watching, I hope that you're all on there and saying hello and everything. If you do have a question, you can ask the question in that chat box, and I will make sure that Faye gets that question, and she can answer that for you. So make sure that you get your questions in. I will also be checking the questions that are sent into the comment box at the bottom of the screen, because I know that sometimes this chat box doesn't work for some people. And so I want you guys to be able to get your questions answered as well. So make sure that you go ahead and ask those questions in the comment section below, and I will keep an eye on those as well. So go ahead and get your questions in, because that's why we do this live, so that you can get all of the questions answered that you would like to ask Faye at the moment. Okay, back to you.
Yeah, just shout out any questions. I'm very happy to answer. So now we have the main flowers in place. So what I've done is just trailed down some buds. So we had these two.
All right, I am frozen up with Faye. I don't know if all of the rest of you are. If you can see her, let me know. If she is still going, I'll be quiet. Otherwise, we'll try and see if we can get her back on. Okay, looks like you guys are not seeing her. I will see what I can do to get her back up and going. Sorry about that. I think it's really great, though, what she's teaching. I think that flower arranging is something that is not talked about very often in the cake world. So I think it's definitely something that is worth seeing. Hopefully we can get her back. Okay, give me just a minute. Let's see if we can get her back. All right. I apologize for that, you guys. Hopefully we can get her back soon. It looks like she's dropped out. Hopefully she's starting again. And we'll get her back here in just a minute. For those of you in the meantime, make sure you go check out Faye's Craftsy class. Again, the link is down here at the bottom. CakeFu.com/Faye Carl. I guess in Australia they say Carl. So it's but she said in America we use that R sound, so we would call her Carl, which I find very interesting. But yeah, this is the link that will take you over there, and you will receive a 25% discount on her class today. So make sure you go and check that out. Definitely really wonderful. I've been seeing a lot of people giving really great reviews on the comment section here about how wonderful her class is. So I think it's a great class. I think that she is amazing at what she does, and she definitely does have a beautiful style that is very popular today. So definitely one that I would go check out for sure. Oh gosh, I apologize for my voice today, you guys. It's kind of going on me. I wasn't expecting that this morning. I started getting a cold a few days ago, and I got it. I got it almost under control with my little herbal remedies, and just about had it cleared out. So at least I didn't get the congestion and all that junk going on. Just kind of okay. Yeah, just kind of the losing my voice now at this point. Okay. I am not seeing her. Sorry guys, hopefully we'll get this back on. I mean, this is the risk that we take when we go live. Sometimes technology just doesn't agree with people. Hopefully this will get worked out quickly. If not, I'm sure that Faye will be willing to reschedule a time to come and finish what she missed. And in the meantime, I'm sure that we will get that figured out. Just don't sneeze on us. Thanks, Cecil. Hopefully I won't sneeze. That would not be great. I actually have a little cup of my herbal tea here with me to keep me going. I've had this tickle in my throat that I'm trying to keep from acting up on me so I don't cough. Okay, so Faye has answered me, and she said she is trying to get back in. Hopefully she will be back soon. We'll see. For those of you that are interested, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with my adventures. We recently moved just about a month and a half ago. And again, for those of you that, what? I thought she already moved. Yes, we moved again, and we have moved our cake studio again. So this is kind of just our temporary setup until we get up and going again. We have a really great spot in our home for a really great studio. Hopefully we can get it up and going really quickly, because I keep getting these ideas of, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and anyway, so hopefully we get it up and going soon, because I have some really great plans coming up. So stick with us. And you guys are just gonna, I hope you guys are okay just sitting here with me waiting. She is trying to get back on. Let's see. Okay, let's see if that has helped her. Oh, love the backdrop. Thank you. These are my curtains. I have some curtains in my kitchen that I bought for the house, and I just thought, I need something. I don't want a bare wall. So we actually we actually got it set up for a party that I threw this weekend for my sister-in-law. She had I threw together a gender reveal party for her. It was really fun. I plan to do a post on Facebook or on the CakeFu website about all of that, and let you guys know everything that I did for this party, because I didn't just do the cake, I did the whole party. So I think it'll be fun to show you guys what it was that I did. It turned out really well, and it was really fun. But yeah, it was the backdrop for a little photo booth that we did. And so I just left it up and thought it'll be perfect for a backdrop for our training today. So it works out. Let's see. Someone asked where I'm living now. I'm in Springville, Utah. It is pretty close to Salt Lake area, Utah Valley area, in case you guys know anything about Utah. So if you're ever coming through Utah, look me up. I'll be here. Okay, so it is not working for her for some reason. Let me see. Sorry, I can't talk and type at the same time. Okay, someone wrote a comment. Is it possible to do a class sometime about what we as cakers really need to do to legitimize our businesses, what insurance we should have, and cottage food laws, etc. So many people are clueless, and I am too, but I am trying to get what I need to get, but you hear different stories from different people. My goodness, that is a great idea. I think that we'll have to do that, Claire. We will. That's one that I actually have been thinking a lot about. It's a good thing to focus on, because I know a lot of people out there want to do the right thing, but they just don't know how. So yeah, we will definitely touch on that sometime. I will think of a time and place for that. Okay, Faye's, I guess her internet is down. I think that's what her problem is. She says she's going to try her phone data to try and get back on. And hopefully we'll get her back on here. Thank you guys for being patient and sticking with us. All right. Oh, it looks like we're back. Are you back, Faye?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Sorry.
That is okay. That is really okay. All right, it looks like it's still kind of cutting in and out on you. It's there. Hopefully we can. I wonder if it just takes a minute or if we just need to. Okay, and I think we've lost her again. Darn it! Oh, we almost had it. Let's see.
Sorry.
Sorry about that, guys. I muted myself for a minute because my baby was crying in the background. Thought you wouldn't want to hear a screaming kid. Okay, I think that we are just having too many issues here. I don't know if we're gonna get Faye back. Darn it. It's sad because I can see and I can tell that Faye is there. We're just not getting it back. Seeing error messages, huh? Are you there, Faye?
Can hear you.
You can hear, I can hear you too.
Okay.
Right. Do you think we're back up and going, or I wonder if the connection is just not quite?
Yeah, I can see you and I don't have the error messages now, so it could be good.
Okay, and I can see you again, so hopefully, should we try and continue on?
Yeah, there's not much to go actually. I'm just going to dabbing the leaves in. So what I do with leaves is I use them to add a lot of shape to the arrangement. So so looking at the shape of a leaf, we have a nice point at the end, which is going to really move the eye nicely around the arrangement. So we just use this to add a little bit of direction. So we're using it to fill the gaps, and obviously you don't want to see the work. We're covering those up, but we're really accentuating the shape. So I find a lot of our brides are a little bit scared to use green on cake, so we use the leaves in white as well. But I love it if they will let us put a bit of green in there. I think it's always really beautiful. It frames the arrangements really nicely. So I'm just going to start working around, and I probably going to need to cut these a little bit shorter just to make sure that we can get them into the foam here. It's a little bit tricky. Okay, so maybe I'm just going to finish towards the front. So looking at this leaf here, I'm wondering maybe it's a little too big. I'm going to swap that for a medium. So we use very stylized flowers, and the same with our leaves. So you can see they're not super realistic. They're quite stylized, and I keep them reasonably flat because I find that's it fills the gaps really nicely. It's covering what we need to. We can slip them between the flowers, and then we can angle them the way we like to.
Okay.
Okay, so you can see I have a leaf on one side of this arrangement, so I want to balance that by putting one out here, and we also need to fill this little gap in here. Also, I don't finish the back of my flowers very much, so we want to make sure that's covered as well. Okay, so now we're getting the shape framed a little bit nicer, and we can just continue on with that.
It's amazing what the leaves can do.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And especially down in this section, it's going to give the arrangement some really nice direction.
So I think that we missed the part where you did the cascaded flowers. Can we see that a little bit better?
Oh, really?
Can you angle that down just a little bit?
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that we did miss that
Yeah.
part.
Oh, you did. Okay. So, so what I've done with these buds, so we work with, in roses, we work with the 3 sizes, so the large, medium, and the buds. And so after I've cascaded over the side with the medium, then we're just offsetting three buds. So we don't want them to be in a straight line. We're just offsetting each one down the side of the cake and creating that trailing shape. So you can see these two are a little bit side by side, although moving down, it just really gives you which we're creating more with the leaves.
Okay. Could you angle your camera down just a tiny bit so you can see the bottom side? That's perfect. That's a great view of it.
Sorry, I have sun coming in here.
No
now.
apologies needed. It's hard to be the cameraman and the demonstrator at the same time. So I'll be your cameraman.
Yeah. So now I'm finishing up the V shape, so I just need to have a little look, and to me there's a gap here that really needs something in it, so I'm just going to add so we've added another leaf in here, and okay, so now if we imagine that maybe the top tier of a wedding cake, we can extend this down a little bit further. So I have a couple of my smallest size leaves, and I'm just going to tape those together and do a little wired arrangement. So usually the smaller will be the furthest away. So I've just got some florist tape, and I'm going to tape up the stem here and do the same on my second leaf. So then I just have a little wired sprig of leaves, which I'm going to put down the bottom here, and just adds to that shape. So you can see that that's really coming down into a nice teardrop. Okay, so that's pretty much finished that arrangement. So one thing that I like to mention in just teaching these kind of arrangements is connecting the whole scheme of the cake together. So ways I do that, if there's several arrangements on the cake, I want them to point towards each other, and the leaves are a big part of that. So are you looking at the cake now? So if you look at this cake, there's a direction happening down here, and we might use that to point towards the next arrangement on the cake. So the leaves at the base here will be pointing towards the next arrangement on the cake, and then maybe that arrangement might have some leaves pointing back up at this one, and it just connects them nicely. Makes your eye move really naturally around the cake, and I think it can bring the whole design together really nice. That's just I'm thinking the arrangements on the cake.
Beautiful. I love that tip of having the arrangements point towards each other. I think that's brilliant. A lot of people don't know how to do things that way. That you don't really. I mean, you want something here, you want something here, but to have them kind of pointing towards each other, making a really smooth, really clean, really organic look. I think it's beautiful. So, all right, we do have a few questions from people that I wanted to make sure get asked. One person asked.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so okay.
Oh, sorry. It sounds like we've got a little bit of a lag or something that just happened. But our first question
Okay.
is, the flowers, are they roses or are they peonies? Peonies, I guess.
This one actually I call a peony rose. So it was something that I came up with, I guess, in weddings, when a lot of texture started coming through, and maybe a slightly looser style of rose was going to work with that. So I used to do a little bit more of a structured center that had the spires. That's what I would call a more formal rose. And these, I guess they're not as heavily textured as a classic peony, so they're kind of halfway in between. So I call them a peony rose.
I love that. And you know what? It's perfect because that's kind of the style right now. So something that's between a peony, something that's between a rose, put them together. Why not?
Yeah. So we do a little bit of texturing on the edges here, and actually in my Craftsy class is how to make these roses. So it's a really nice one. It's quite a simple technique, and they come together really fast, and they're quite large flowers as well. So you're spending minimal time, and you're making something that's quite dramatic, and maybe you only need one or two on a cake, and it looks really beautiful already.
Beautiful. Okay, next question. Will regular gel coloring work with the color wash technique?
Oh yes. So no, we don't recommend putting gels into the alcohol. So usually when we're doing alcohol, most of the time I'm just using the airbrush colors, which it's just similar to a liquid color. For some reason I can't mix the color that I'm trying to get, then maybe I might try some powder color, something like the dusting colors for flowers. You can try a little bit. Generally, gels won't dissolve in the alcohol. You'll get some there.
Yeah, sometimes it gums up and does this weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me before, and it was just kind of this weird, what is this doing? And then the gum paste leaves, they want to, or are they gum paste, and are they bendable, is what they asked.
So well, not really, although sometimes they have a little bit of give to them. So as I mentioned, we're a little bit humid here in Sydney. Just feeling these ones, they're not completely brittle. They have a tiny little bit of give, but generally they're quite hard. We don't want them to soften up too much, otherwise we're going to have problems. So we work in really good air conditioning here, but then obviously they have to go off into different conditions, and we want them to hold up. So the gum paste we use is the Nicholas Lodge recipe. It's quite easy to find online if you Google that, and we find that it works really well.
Okay. One more question. Should you hang your flowers upside down while they're drying, while they're wet?
After the alcohol wash?
I am not sure on that question.
So in the making of in the largest stage, there is a stage we will hang that upside down to dry, and usually that's over. Usually for the alcohol wash we wouldn't need to. They're firm enough to take that, and it dries up really quickly. If for any reason we're having some humidity, then that might be a precaution that you could take to make sure your flower doesn't start wilting. But usually we don't need to do that.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for answering those questions. There was something that somebody said that I think that you need to hear, and I think it's great. They said that you do a good job of explaining what artists do by eye, but it's hard to put into words, and that's a mark of a good teacher. So,
well, sweet. I think yeah, it took a while to kind of start thinking in that way, because I do tend to, think with my hands a little bit, and then to actually start explaining things to people, it takes a little bit of practice. But yeah, hopefully just, in my classes I get a lot of experience with, how to correct that. So yeah, hopefully that all comes together.
Wonderful. All right. So we need to move on. I know that we cut out a lot in the middle, but we need to let Faye get back to her day. So we're going to go ahead and do the giveaway. As we're doing this, I want to make sure you guys remember right down here at the bottom of the screen, cakefu.com/Faye Cahill, and make sure that you visit that link right there. That will get you 25% off of Faye's Craftsy class. And it's a really, really great class. And as you can see, she's an amazing instructor, definitely, and super talented, great style. It's definitely a class worth taking. So definitely go and check out that class. All right, so for the giveaway, what I want you guys to do, first of all, I want you guys to go to that link. I'm going to have, our giveaway question is going to be on that page. So make sure you go over to cakefu.com/Faye Cahill, and we're going to ask a question about something that is on that page right there. Okay. So I'll let you guys all get to that page. You there? Hopefully you are. And the question is, and then I'm going to have you guys email me. I'm going to put my email address up on the screen in just a minute, and I want you to email me the answer to this question. The question is, let me get the email out here. Okay. Here's my email address, amelia@cakefu.com. And the question is, what is the title of the 7th lesson of Faye's class? Okay, so that right there is the question. Tell me the title of Faye's class, and we will pick a winner from the emails that start rolling in. Faye, if you want to pick a number, let's go 1 through 10. You'll have to have quick hands this time, you guys. So if you want to pick a number 1 through 10, the 10th person will win our giveaway. I mean, not 10th person, the number you give us. 1 through 10. Faye.
Okay. Okay. Let's go with number 3. I have a 3-year-old daughter.
Oh, how fun. Yeah, I remember meeting your 3-year-old daughter. She's so adorable and so sweet. We were just standing around in the hallway waiting for something, and there was a drinking fountain next to us, and she went and got a cup of water for everybody that was around. It was so adorable. Okay, so we'll wait for those emails. Looks like we have a couple coming in already, so make sure you guys get those in. And while we're doing that, we are going to talk about some things that you have coming up, Faye. You have a class coming up in Spain that sounds pretty exciting. You want to talk about that for a minute? Oh, we lost Faye. Darn it. Well, anyway, these are a couple of classes that Faye is going to be teaching. cakefu.com/Spain class. That'll take you to, it's actually a person's Facebook page, and she is the person in charge of this class that is being arranged, and Faye will be there in Spain. So if you are in or near Spain or want to take a trip to Spain, I think that would be a great way to, justify a trip. So go ahead and check that out. You can actually message this, let me look up her name really fast. It is, I don't have it up. Anyway, it'll take you to a link. Message the person that whose Facebook page you are going to, and she will give you information on that class. The other thing is, this is Faye's workshops page on her website, and you can find all of the classes that she will be teaching in the near future on this website. So it's fayecahill.com/au/workshops. So make sure you go check that out. And see what she has live coming up. I know there was a discussion on Facebook about live versus online classes, and honestly, my opinion is there is a place for both, absolutely a place for both. So check out the Craftsy class, make sure you have that in your Craftsy lineup because it is a great one. And then also, check out her live classes and see if she'll be in your area anytime soon. All right, so number 3 is what Faye said, so that's what we're going to. Looks like our winner is D. Thompson. So congratulations, Dee. You win the free Craftsy class today. We will get that link sent to you in your email. Congratulations, Dee. For anybody else that, that tried and didn't win, again, make sure you have Faye's Craftsy class in your lineup. It is definitely worth having. And again, make sure you follow that link. It is, oh, wrong one. CakeFu.com/Faye Carl. I, for the longest time, called her Cahill because that's what it looked like on Facebook to me. So, but we've met in person and she's explained her name. I will get it one day. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming and joining us on our training today. Again, there is a replay available. I may try and edit out the part that was kind of a blur. And yeah, thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys all next time. We have some really great trainings coming up. Sorry about my voice again. Some really great trainings coming up. So make sure you join us, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.